still the one I kiss goodnight.
Attention Walmart, this is Gail Lewis signing out.
I'm slipping into the lava, and I'm trying to keep from going under. Baby, you don't to push it harder, 'cause I'm burning up for you, baby.
Yeah, about to catch another fight. The apple bottom make 'em wanna bite. I just wanna have a good night. I just wanna have a good night. Hold up, if you don't know, now you know. If you broke, then you gotta let him go. You could have anybody, any money, more. 'Cause when you were boss, you could do what you want.
Well, I was sitting, waiting, wishing you believed in superstitions. Then maybe you'd see the signs. But Lord knows that this world is cruel, and I ain't the Lord. No, I'm just a fool, and I'm loving somebody. Don't make them love you.
Yeah, 'cause girls is players too. Yeah, 'cause girls is players too.
Must I always be waiting, waiting on you?
Yeah, 'cause girls is players too.
This sex so good, I shouldn't have to fuck for free. I go on and on, can't understand how I last so long. I must have the superpowers, last 223,000 hours, and it's 'cause I'm off of CC, and I'm off the Hennessy. And like your boy from Compton said, you know this dick ain't free. I got girls that I should've made pay for it, got girls that I should've made wait for it. I got girls that I cancel a flight back home, stay another day for it. You got attitude on nana, on agua, stomach on flat, on what's that?
When she was just a girl, she expected the world, but it flew away from her reach, so she ran away in her sleep.
Young girl don't want that back calling me splurge. Ride me jump right off the curb. Bet this spread fly like a bird. Spin on the first and the third. Solid, I'm keeping my word. Can't be my equal, I don't know what you heard. Crack up the phone, I swear. Keep me a stick if they purge.
Pour me another drink, 'cause I don't wanna feel a thing no more.
off. Don't wanna think about her, or wear a ring without her. Don't wanna hit the karaoke bar, can't sing without her. So make them drinks strong, cause brother, she's gone. And if I'm ever gonna move on, I'm gonna need some whiskey glasses, cause I don't wanna see the truth. She's probably making out on the couch right now with someone new. Yeah, I'm gonna need some whiskey glasses if I'm gonna make it through. I'ma be single, I'ma need a double shot of that heartbreak blues.
Isn't she lovely? Isn't she wonderful? Isn't she precious? Let's make one little.
All I do is win, 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 no matter what. Got money on my mind, I can never get enough. And every time I step up in the building, everybody hands go up, and they stay there. Cold shoulder echoes in time, you begging me to stay till the sun rose. Strange words come on out of a grown man's mouth when his mind's broke.
And it's happened once again. I'll turn to a friend, someone that understands, sees through the master plan. But everybody's gone, and I've been here for too long to face this on my own. Well, I guess this is growing up.
Pictures in passing time, you only smile like that when you drink.
Well, I guess this is growing up.
I wish I didn't, but I do.
Well, I guess this is growing up.
I'm here without you, baby. Just still on my lonely mind. I think about you, baby, and I dream about you all the time.
Don't you open up that window. Don't you let out the antidote. Popping pills is all we know. In the hills is all we know.
Cause karma is my boyfriend. Karma is a god. Karma is the breeze in my hair on the weekend. Karma's a relaxing thought. Aren't you envious that for you it's not? Sweet like honey. Karma is a cat. Purring in my lap cause it loves me. Flexing like a goddamn acrobat. Me and karma vibe like that.
Don't go through the front door.
Cause karma is my boyfriend.
It's low key at the night show.
Cause karma is my boyfriend.
So don't you open up that window.
Cause karma is my boyfriend.
Don't you let out the antidote.
If you having girl problems, I feel bad for you, son. I got 99 problems, but a bitch ain't one. Hit me. 99 problems, but a bitch ain't one. If you having girl problems, I will back for you, son. If you having girl problems, I will back for you, son. If you having girl problems, I will back for you, son. I got 99 problems, but a bitch ain't one. I got the rap patrol on the cat patrol. Foes that want to make sure my cash is closed. Rap critics that save money, cash holes. I'm from the hood, stupid, what type of facts are those? If you grew up with holes in your zap for toes, you celebrate the minute you was having dope. I'm like, fuck critics, you can kiss my whole asshole. If you don't like the lyrics, you can press fast forward. Got beef with radio if I don't play their show. They don't play my hits, well, I don't give a shit. So, rap mags try to use my black ass, so advertise to give them more cash for ads, fuckers. I don't know what you take me as, don't understand the intelligence that Jay-Z has. I'm from rap the richest niggas, I ain't dumb. I got 99 problems, but a bitch ain't one. Hit me.
Would you know my name if I saw you in heaven? Would it be the same if I saw you in heaven? If heaven is anywhere, it's in a blue Tacoma, California. White magnolia in your hair, rays of gold shining on you. Ooh, if heaven is anywhere, it's never running out of golden road. Always having your hand to hold in a blue Tacoma, California.
'Cause every time we touch, I get this feeling, and every time we kiss, I swear I can fly. Can't you feel my heart beat fast? I want this to last. Need you by my side. 'Cause every time we touch, I feel the static, and every time we kiss, I reach for the sky. Can't you hear my heart beat slow? I can't let you go. Want you in my life.
I don't like no whips and chains, and you can't tie me down. But you can whip your lovin' on me. That's right, whip your lovin' on me. 'Cause I don't like no whips and chains, and you can't tie me down. But you can whip your lovin' on me. That's right, whip your lovin' on me.
Could you whisper in my ear the things you wanna feel? I'll give you anything to feel it coming. Do you wake up on your own? I wonder where you are and live with all your thoughts. I wanna wake up where you are. I won't say anything at all, so I don't.
I'm vanilla, baby. I'll choke you, but I ain't no killer, baby. She 28 telling me I'm still a baby. I can live in Detroit like a skiller, baby.
Can I take that down?
When it feels like I can see the sands on the horizon every time you are not around. I'm slowly drifting away. Wave after wave, wave after wave. I'm slowly drifting.
Even though we're going through it and it makes you feel alone, just know that I would die for you. Baby, I would die for you. Yeah.
If only I could stop the sunrise, we could lay here all night. If only I could learn to freeze time and hold you forever. If only I had one more day, I love you 25/8. If only I could stop the sunrise, we could lay here all night. If only I could learn to freeze time and hold you forever.
Baby, I would die for you. Baby, I would die for you.
Yeah. If only I. no matter where you are, no matter how far.
Don't worry, baby.
Just call my name, I'll be there in a hurry. You don't have to worry, you don't have to worry, you don't have to worry, you don't have to worry.
Ooh, this shit be hitting different.
I'm a fucking walking paradox. No, I'm not a threesomes with a fucking triceratops. Reptar, rapping as I'm mocking death rock stars. Wearing synthetic wigs made of anwars, dreadlocks, bedrock, harder than a motherfucking Flintstone. Making crack rocks out of pussy nigga fish bones. This nigga Jasper tryna get grown. About 5'7" of this bitches in my bedroom.
Baby, you my everything. You all I ever wanted. We could do it real big, bigger than you ever done it. You be up on everything. Other hoes ain't never on it. I want this forever. I swear I could spend whatever on it. Cause she hold me down every time I hit up. When I get right, I promise that we gon' live it up. She made me beg for it till she give it up. And I say the same thing every single time.
Well, I'm running down the road trying to loosen my load. I got 7 women on my mind. 4 that wanna own me, 2 that wanna stone me, 1 so she's a friend of mine.
I say you the fucking best, you the fucking best, you the fucking best, you the fucking best, you the best I ever had, best I ever had, best I ever had, best I ever had.
Take it easy, take it easy.
You the fucking best, you the fucking best, you the fucking best, you the fucking best.
Said my niggas don't dance, he just pull up a pants and do the rock away. Now lean back, lean back, lean back, lean back. Come on, I said my niggas don't dance, he just pull up a pants and do the rock away. Come on, now lean back, lean back, lean back, lean back. Come on, lean back.
Escape me. Escape me. Bottles under tires. But if I escape what if I escape
Spots up and over the sea. I sat at a party smoking and called you. 7 Nation Army fighting at the bar. You say that I'm sorry, tell me what I do. 'Cause I can't go, it's chemical. I can't go, it's chemical.
Waiting on the world to change. Keep on waiting. Waiting on the world to change. One day our generation is gonna rule the population. We keep on waiting. Waiting on the world to change.
Watch me dance, dance the night away. My heart could be burning, but you won't see it on my face. Watch me dance, dance the night away. I'll still keep the party running. I want it out of place. I want to love you, pretty young thing. You need some loving, then a love and care, and I'll take it there, girl. Every romance shakes and it bends, don't give a damn. When the night's here, I don't do tears, baby, no chance. I want to love you, pretty young thing. You need some loving.
Fitness Gram Pacer test.
Hey girl,
yeah, yeah. I'm too sexy for this girl, too sexy for your girl, too sexy for this world, too sexy for this ice, too sexy for that jet, yeah, yeah.
Okay, alright, that's fine.
I'm too sexy for this chain, too sexy for your game, too sexy for this fame, yeah, yeah. I'm too sexy for the trap, too sexy for the trap, too sexy for that jet, yeah, yeah.
Did a lot of shit just to live this here lifestyle. Came straight from the bottom to the top of my lifestyle. Did a lot of shit just to live this here lifestyle. Came straight from the bottom to the top of my lifestyle.
Lifestyles of the rich and the famous. They're always complaining, always complaining. If money is such a problem, well, they got matches. Think we should rob them. Lifestyles of the rich and the famous. They're always complaining, always complaining.
There's nothing that if I tell everyone how I made this money, that it's going to affect me in any sort of way.
AMD, if we get a quick little pop above $12, I'm thinking about maybe a quick little short over on AMD. Finger on the trigger to lock in profits when it starts moving back on up. Here we go. Nice job. Let's take it. $979 in profit. Look at this spike, baby. Taking some gains right off the top right here. 124,000.
You just gotta know what you're doing.
200
Every single person can be successful.
dollars in profit.
There's no reason for you not to become a full-time
Now we're
trader.
currently up $2,100. Let's just keep it going even more. I want every single person. Now we're up $2,500. Now we're going up to $117.40.
It's not like it's a competition. It's if I tell you how I was able to do this, go out, make that money, make a killer, and let's all absolutely crush it together.
Let's go, baby. Let's see this thing keep unfolding even farther here. We're up $1,100 within the first 5 minutes of the day. I'm feeling absolutely fantastic.
I'm losing it.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, everybody join in right now at this moment.
I'm losing it.
Dial up. Everyone get ready to go. Because that's what it's all about. It's about people waking up this morning with a mission. People waking up this morning with an objective. Waking up this morning knowing that you got a purpose. That purpose right here, right now, is we want to be absolutely crushing the stock market. We got to be feeling loose. We got to be feeling agile. We want our bellies filled with nothing but protein. Traders, we got a brand new day ahead. Got to go over it all as we always do. As always, thank you so much for joining us on this absolutely beautiful day. It is currently 9:05 on this Thursday. I've been up the last 12 hours straight just sitting in this chair playing this song over and over and over again. That's how excited I am. There's no reason, there's no excuse for every single person to come out on top. I want everyone green today. Green like you just rode the most crazy roller coaster you ever seen at Six Flags. Green like that dollar bill in your wallet right now. Traders, we got a lot to go over, a lot to talk about, so let's dive right into it. If you guys are watching over on YouTube today, as always, smash that thumbs on up. I appreciate you. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss when we go live every single morning. And also, if you guys are on TikTok at this time, click that follow, double tap the screen, show me a little heart, show me a little bit of love. Because, guys, I'm a 30-year-old man just looking for love. Is that too hard to find on the internet nowadays? Can I jump on a live stream as a 30-year-old man? Just go ahead and start live streaming my love to you? Because that's what this is all about. Let's have ourselves a day. Traders, Let's talk about what we got. All right, man, we're starting to get a little crazy already today. Today's going to be a day that we're going to be making some big time money. I can already feel it. So what do we have going on with this day, traders? Well, the S&P 500. S&P 500 did just come on out with PPI data. If you guys do not know what PPI data stands for, it is Producer Price Index. Now, on Tuesday, we had CPI data, which was Consumer Price Index. CPI data was on Tuesday. We do have PPI data this morning that came out at 8:30. As you guys can probably realize, the S&P 500 did get this very strong red candle right at 8:30. What this is putting out there is that the PPI data came in hotter than expected. What does that mean, came in hotter than expected? Well, what have we been struggling with the past 2 years? The past 2 years, people have been spending like there is no tomorrow. People have been buying houses extremely high on up. People have been taking out crazy loans, buying cars. People are spending $500,000 on pictures of monkeys back in 2021. We had a very serious spending problem where people just kept spending and spending and spending. So as you guys know, Jerome Powell, what did he do? He raised interest rates many times, 12 times over 2 years, 0.75, 0.75, 0.75, 0.75 to try to make things more expensive so people stop spending so much money. Now, the issue is that even though we have raised interest rates so high and we have not dropped them whatsoever, people are still spending and still spending. So the bad data that came on out here today was that the S&P 500, we are still seeing PPI data hotter than expected. Inflation data came in hotter than expected, which means people are still continuing to spend. So the thing is, the S&P 500, we are seeing a pullback at this moment. We did have a very nice gap up. We actually hit a brand new record high in pre-market. It does not count that we hit it in pre-market, but we did hit a new high in pre-market before the bad PPI data. So let's actually take a step back here, team. The best way that I know how to teach about these type of days is let's act like it's 8 o'clock in the morning before the data came on out. Let's talk about how traders are looking at this market, and then we can really start from zero and get to 100, A to Z. So let's see and let's imagine that it's 8 o'clock in the morning right now. We don't know that the data is bad, and let's get all on the same mindset. It says S&P 500 and the NASDAQ Composite both had losses yesterday. Both took a little bit of a step back. Those losses followed a decline in the tech sector. NVDA, which has helped lead markets recently higher, fell 1.1% on Monday. The Dow Jones Industrial Average, meanwhile, ticked up 0.1%. Looking ahead, investors will be watching a measure of wholesale inflation on Thursday morning as February's Producer Price Index is due before the bell. So a lot of traders have realized that this past week has been relatively choppy. We have seen NVDA go on some spikes. We've seen it go on a drop. We actually saw a little bit of a red day, and now traders are getting excited for that PPI data. The PPI data did come on out, and as you guys can see, it was on the negative side. So we can actually read this article right here over on CNBC.com, and it says wholesale inflation rose 0.6 in February, more than expected. So it says wholesale price accelerated as a faster than expected pace in February, another reminder that inflation remains a troublesome issue for the U.S. economy. The Producer Price Index, which measures pipeline costs for raw, intermediate, and finished goods, jumped 0.6% on the month. The Labor Department of Bureau of Labor Statistics reported on Thursday that that was higher than the 0.3% forecast. So essentially what we have right here, team, is we were expecting that this PPI data was going to be 0.3%. Well, it actually came in almost double that, 0.6%. So it's still showing that inflation is still a very persistent problem. So what is Jerome Powell going to do? We already know that next Thursday, Jerome Powell, there is probably a 1% chance that he cuts interest rates. We already know he's not cutting interest rates. His whole entire job, his whole entire application is to be able to just say, hey, I need to control the money in the United States. And the money problem is a big problem, which means that we are just spending so much. And even after raising interest rates as many times as we have, 0.75 over and over and over, people are still spending and still spending and still spending. So are we going to be cutting interest rates anytime soon? I don't think so. I don't think that's going to be happening anytime soon. So let's talk about the S&P 500 and see how can we get a game plan on today. Now, traders, if you guys were with us yesterday on TradeCaster TV, you probably were able to make some money. Now, why were you able to make money if you guys were watching yesterday? Well, we said that the past 6 days in a row, The S&P 500 has started with a drop, and then we spiked on up at around 9:45, 10 o'clock. Literally everything I have is recorded on YouTube. Make sure you guys go check that on out. So the thing is, I said yesterday, everyone watch for a drop the first 15 to 30 minutes, look for a lower shadow to form, and then watch for a bounce back on up. And that's exactly what happened. That was the best trade of the entire day, as really we saw a lot of choppiness after that. So if you guys continue to realize this, we actually see a drop at the start of the day, then we see a bounce on up. We can go back to the previous day. We saw a drop at the very start of the day. Then we saw a very nice bounce back on up. We can go on a previous day. You can look at a very drop at the start of the day. Then we bounce back on up. This idea continued to happen and happen and happen. This was yesterday, the 7th time in a row that we had a drop at the start of the day, waited about 15 to 20 minutes, and then guess what happens? We got a nice bounce back on up. So today, are we going to be seeing something similar? I have a number in my mind right here. And that number is going to be right at 516.20. 516.20. The reason why I like 516.20 so much is because this was the number yesterday. If you guys were in chat, if you guys were watching me live trade, this was the number that it basically we just continued to go down towards. It was like the happy medium, you can think about it. It was the average. We basically came on down. We were sitting next to 516.20. We went a little bit lower. We bounced up to 516.20. A little bit lower, right back up to 516.20. A little bit lower, back up to 516.20. We spiked above 516.20, but then back down to 516.20. Then we went up, back on down, went up, back on down. Then we went down to 516.20 and cracked 516.20, but then we went right back up to 516.20. So we basically just kept going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So basically, I have 3 lines that I want you to be aware of. Number 1, we have very strong bottom support. Bottom support is at 518 or 515.85. Bounce play, bounce play, bounce play. That's going to be our absolute bottom area that we would want to get entries off of. We also have our top resistance line right here. Top resistance line of yesterday is going to be at 516.75, which actually the market's trying to bounce off right now. You can see top resistance, top resistance, top resistance, top resistance, and you can also see after we broke through resistance, this actually held up as support, held up as support, held up as support, held up as support. So make sure you guys are writing down these numbers. These numbers are so crucial and so important for you guys right now. We have bounce play, top resistance, bounce play, top resistance, bounce play, top resistance, break through this, bounce, 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 back underneath it, resistance. Take a look over on the S&P 500 at this moment. It's actually trying to bounce off this 516.75 mark. So this is what you guys definitely want to continue to keep your eyes peeled on. You're looking for these bounces. You're looking for these old resistance that's going to hold up as potential bounces. And then last but not least, we do have that 516.20, which is just going to be the average, which is basically going to be right in that middle area. So going into today, these are the numbers that I want to be focusing on. 515.80, 516.20, 516.75. Most likely, one of these areas is going to be holding up as our main support line. So if you're saying, all right, Dek, the last 7 days in a row, we saw the S&P 500 fall for the first 30 minutes. That's a fact. If you don't believe me, go ahead and check it on out. So we've been falling and we've been bouncing. If we want to stick with the same lines here today, what would be the best way to trade the S&P 500? The best way to trade the S&P 500 would be try to scale in on positions and add a bigger as you go. So let's just say you have, let's just make this nice and simple. Let's say you have a $10,000 trading account, okay? You might say to yourself, hey, Dek, I'm going to do $2,000 at the price of $516.75. We know that we have that old resistance. We know that's the top area, and there is potential that we just bounce right here. So it's not a bad idea to just say, all right, I'm going to jump in and do $2,000 worth. $2,000 worth of shares, $2,000 worth of contracts, whatever you want, you can get in there. But if the stock market starts falling a little bit lower and we start dropping and we start fading and we start getting a little bit weaker, what can you say to yourself? You could say, all right, I know that we have another very strong support line. Another very strong support line is at that 516.20 mark where Dek was talking about. And I still have $8,000 left. So let me go ahead and let me do, let's say, $3,000, right here. So $3,000 investment. I have $2,000 up high. I'm adding $3,000 down low. This is going to bring my cost basis not halfway. Since you're adding a little bit more down low, it's going to bring your cost basis a little bit closer to the current price. Then on top of that, we are obviously looking for what? We're looking for the dip and the bounce all the way back on up. But if it goes a little bit lower from there, what could you be doing? You could say, all right, Dek, I know our bottom area is all the way back on down towards that 515.80 mark. I've invested $5,000. I have $5,000 left. And then guess what? I can go ahead and add my last $5,000 right here. This is going to move your cost basis from this price point up here. Since you're adding much more down low, you are now going to have a cost basis way down here. Now, why are we doing this? Why are we adding our cost basis lower and lower and lower? Because we want to be able to get to the point that when we do get a bounce play, we only have to go to right here. That makes life very simple instead of waiting for a bounce to get all the way back on up. Now let's play the worst case scenario. Worst case scenario is that the S&P 500 does what? The S&P 500 cracks underneath here and starts going even lower. Could that be possible? Absolutely, that could be possible. Could that be something that happens? Absolutely. So you have to be strict on this. You have to have a stop loss underneath this area where you say, hey, if it kept on falling, I have to be willing to get out and I can't, jump in on these plays. I'm just brutally honest, okay? I'm not going to be some guy that's going to lie to you and make up some fantasy story about how you're going to be able to get a Ferrari at the end of today, okay? The thing is, traders, if you want to be successful on this day, it is going to either be you have to get a little lucky, you have to either do research, you have to figure out your odds, you have to be predictable. Okay, some people just randomly trade and they make money. It doesn't last very long, but they can definitely make money on a specific day. What I personally like to do is try to put the odds in my favor. What I always like to try to do is get myself the probability. I know that 1, 2, 3 is our main support lines. Okay, these are our main support lines here. There's a chance that we can bounce off of each one if we fall on down towards these areas. But unfortunately, I cannot tell you which one it is going to bounce off of. If you are saying to yourself, Dek, I don't like buying at number 1, just don't buy at number 1. And you know what? Have your entries all set and ready to go at entry 2 and entry 3. Those will be all set, ready to go. But you must understand something. If it does bounce at number 1 and start moving on up, you can't be upset over that. Right? Sometimes I might set up a game plan and my entries don't get filled. The stock doesn't come down to the area that I want it to. And you know what? There's no harm in that. Like for me, I probably won't enter at entry 1. I like to always wait for a little bit of a pullback and look for more of an entry near number 2 or look for an entry near number 3. That's where I would be looking for an entry on the call side for it to be able to go on up. So that would be my idea for an entry where I can enter down low, and then I'm going to have a better cost basis, probably somewhere right in the middle, and then I'll have a stop loss right underneath this. So instead of, having entries up high, I only have a little bit that I could possibly lose, and I have a whole lot that I could possibly win if we do get a bounce play back on up. So you can experiment. You can kind of go off your thing. The where people get in trouble is when number 1, they don't set stop losses, and number 2, they go in too heavy at the top. It's always better to go smaller at the top, add a little bit more, and add the biggest amount near the bottom so you can always have that lower cost basis. On top of that, as I said, you always have to have some sort of stop loss in case the play doesn't work on out, because that's going to happen from time to time. You might set up a play, and guess what? There are going to be traders that say, hey, you know what? I'm holding this play from here to here to here, and they're still holding and say it has to come back up at some time, has to come back up at some time, has to come, and then you end up losing everything. So you have to be willing to get out, okay, if the play does not work. So have entries at 1, 2, or 3, stop loss underneath it. You can just wait for 3. 3 is going to be the worst odds of getting filled. If you do get filled, though, it has the best chance of getting a bounce play. But you really have to be very patient and wait for that thing to fall. Now, let's reverse this for a second. Some people might be saying, hold on, Dek, timeout, timeout, timeout. We had bad PPI data today. That's showing that it's hotter than expected. Well, if we have bad PPI data, wouldn't the market fall? Well, hey guys, that's a great point, wouldn't it? Inflation is hotter than expected, right? Shouldn't that lead towards the market dipping? Shouldn't that lead towards the market falling? Well, let's see what else we have here, team. On a lot of bad news days, the market still goes on big climbs. On what do we have? On Tuesday, CPI data. CPI data wasn't good. CPI data wasn't bad. It was just as expected. And guess what? We saw a monster spike. We can also just take a look over on the daily chart here, team. Take a look at the daily chart. Over on the daily chart, we have had great news. We've also had awful news. And guess what the market does? 9 out of 10 days goes up, right? We can clearly see, guys, I'm not making things on up, that if you had to close your eyes and someone says, hey, you have to make money today, I am going calls every single day until something tells me different. If someone said, you have to make money today, you have to, the odds are on the call side. If I see this ginormous spike, the best thing to do is probably go with the ginormous spike. So yes, will there be a point that the market turns and falls and collapses and we start seeing a reversal? Absolutely. But what's another saying that you guys hear a lot? Don't try to time the market. Don't try to time the market. Traders, I have tried to time the market before. Guess what? I've lost. I have tried to time exactly the day that it's going to turn. I have lost. What I have learned over my years of trading is to go with momentum until it tells you different. Because guess what? I might think that the market's going to turn today, and it goes up today, it goes up tomorrow, it goes up the next day, it goes up the next day, it goes up the next day, and then falls the 6th day. Well, that's 5 days I could have been winning until eventually the market did fall. So I've learned a lot of times, go with the momentum, go with the hype, go with the action, go with the activity here until we start cracking and until we start falling. Well, Dek, how do we know when the market's going to actually be turning and actually be falling? Well, what's the best way for us to be able to realize that, guys? We actually have a few things that we can really, be on top of. Number one is that we can go ahead and just take a look at the 13 EMA. Are we above the 13 EMA? Are we above this green line right here? The answer is yes. The 13 EMA is what I call AKA the flexible trend line. When we are above the 13 EMA, the flexible trend line, we are still considered bullish. When we're underneath the 13 EMA, we are considered bearish. What else can we do, guys? We can also switch on over to that 60-minute time frame. Now, this is going to be a little tough to see over on TikTok here for a second, but I will adjust it and move it on over. You guys can see over on the 60-minute time frame, we are still on this beautiful trend line. Right? We've been holding this trend line and we've been holding this uptrend since the start of 2024. You can see top, bottom, top, bottom. So you guys can see it goes all the way across the board. This was actually what I posted over on my Twitter like 2 days ago saying, hey, follow that 60-minute time frame. We are still very, very strong over on this area. So let me actually, this is what I did yesterday. Right? So if you guys go over on my Twitter here, you guys can see exactly what we had. We have S&P 500, bounce, 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 bounce. You can see top resistance, top resistance, top resistance. Guess what? We're still inside this channel. So if you're saying, Dek, when are we actually going to get a crack? I personally won't even be interested in cracks until the crack of 2024 happens, which would be at the trend line 512.50. 512.50 starts cracking, I'll start going on some bearish puts. We also have the 13 EMA right around the price of 510.60. 512.60 is the uptrend of 2024. The 13 EMA is at 510.60. Dek, I want you to start going on puts. Underneath 512.50, I'm getting interested. Underneath 510.60, I'm 100% with you. But I am still always getting a little bit nervous doing puts when we have so much strong momentum. So, if you are a put trader, what do you guys think would be the best time to possibly do puts? Well, the last 7 days in a row, we fell at the start of the bell. Probably the best chance for you to be able to make money on the start of the day is going to be saying, hey, we have negative momentum right now in this market. We can already see that the S&P 500 is getting weaker. We can notice that we had bad PPI data today. Maybe we get a little bit of a drop again right at the start of the day. I mean, hey, that wouldn't be too shocking to me. So that is going to be one entry. So traders, let's recap here. Okay, let's recap. Let's give ourselves a little bit of time. Where are we looking to get in on puts today if you are a put trader? I would look to get in right at the start. Last 7 days in a row, the market crashed right at the start of the day. Another area that you can get involved in is when the 13 EMA cracks and when the 60-minute time frame trend line cracks, which is the trend line of 2024. If we're looking for call contracts today, we do have a couple different areas as we talked about. Those different areas is we can go on the top, which is going to be right at that 516.75 mark. We can look at the very bottom at 515.85, or we can look at the middle, the average at 516.20. The other area All three of these areas are great. Another last little area that you could look at is we can see that we have our 8:30 PPI data, which cracked. Then we popped on up, then we got a little weaker. Then we popped on up, then we got a little weaker. Then we popped on up and got a little weaker. It's rather steep, but what you could do here if you want to is go ahead and put a trend line, connect the dots. I'm going to connect this dot to this dot to this dot to this dot, and I can say that we do have a nice downtrend at this moment. Let me wait until we break this downtrend before I start looking for some sort of entry. Maybe a break of this downtrend up towards 517 is where we start, getting a lot more hype and start getting a lot more momentum, because that was a top here, that was a top here, that was a top here, and that was a top up here. So the S&P 500 here today, team, we have a lot of potential. We have a lot of traders getting ready for this move, and I am looking forward to seeing where this hype and where this action is going to be taking us. So the SPY is going to be a very hot play today, I believe. We are going to be watching to see how well it's going to be able to hold on up. We do have some trend lines. We do have our entries. We do have our exits. But today is, again, we all want to get some great ideas of what we should be focusing on. Now, obviously, with the S&P 500 up near record highs, there is going to be people focused on it. We don't have many penny stocks that are getting a lot of heat and a lot of hype. There is just, not that much news today either. So we're not seeing a ton from the news scanner at this moment, and the news scanner is a little bit slow. Not the news scanner, but I'm just saying the news is a little bit slow at this moment. We're just not seeing, as much hype and as much attention at this time. So we are kind of sitting back. Other than that, though, traders, it is 9:27 in the market. If you guys want to see me trade live right now, head on over to TradeCaster.com and join us for our live trading session. You guys will get a free 7-day pass. You guys can be able to watch me and watch all the other live streamers over on TradeCaster. Watch us live trade live in person right here so that you guys are all set. So head on over, click the link in my bio, TradeCaster.com. Get yourself a free 7-day pass. Lastly as well, team, next Thursday, we are going to be having a bundle sale. If you are a person that is a little bit lower on funds but wants to learn how to stock trade, we are having a 75% off bundle sale off of our course, our scanner settings. We are going to be giving away trading journals. We're giving away our PowerPoint slides. We're giving away a ton of stuff for the trader that does not have that much funds that wants to get involved in trading. Next Thursday, we are doing it, but we're only doing it for the first 20 people because it's just too good to give away. So we're only doing it for 20 people next Thursday, 7 p.m. First 20 people get it, and then the sale is over. So it's basically a little flash sale. If you guys are interested on that, make sure you guys are all set, ready to go next Thursday, 7 o'clock, getting ready to rock. Other than that, though, traders, just want to say thank you so much for everyone who's joining us. We're getting ready for this live day ahead. We only got a minute and a half here, so we got to get prepared. Thank you, everyone. Happy TradeCaster TV. See you over on TradeCaster.com. Let's get ready to make some money. TradeCaster members, I'll see you guys back here in 1 minute. I'm just going to refresh the live stream, and we'll be all set, ready to go. Thank you.